And we are live. Welcome back for another stream. Gameweek 37 already. Only feels like yesterday where we had the buzz of Gameweek 1, the whole season ahead of us. It's a bittersweet stream today. It is my last of the 22-23 season, sadly. In Gameweek 38 I'm going to the FPL meetup in London, which means I won't be able to stream because I want to get there before kickoff. Last year I streamed and then went to the games, but I got there like half an hour into it, so I missed all the pre-match chat and everything. I missed half an hour of the games. So yeah, a bittersweet one today. Obviously I'm very excited to be live again, one last time for the season. So lots to talk about as always. It is a double game week as well, so finishing on a double as well, which is exciting. So yeah, unfortunately you're going to have to find another stream to join in Gameweek 38, but I appreciate you all being here. Thank you to Mikhail, Dr. K34, Radu, David, Dethio, Kiran, Gavin, Michael, John, Tushar, Marcus, Abadi, Harshith, Tashan, and everyone else who is here for the stream. I appreciate you all. Anyway, I'll save the end of season speech till the end of the stream, but yeah, thank you all for being here. Austin says, morning Oscar, I can't believe it's the penultimate week. He's already moved Trippier, Martinelli and Watkins out for Shaw, Bruno and Greenwood from -4. Would you do another -4? Isaac to Alvarez. I don't think I would do a -4 for that. I think I would just play Isaac there. I like those moves. Shaw and Bruno, excellent. Trippier, yeah, there's potential to punish there, but obviously he's flagged, which is a worry. No, I don't know. I don't think I'd do a -4, another -4. I don't think it's worth a -8 to get Alvarez. My gut feeling is that Alvarez starts one and he's benched for one, so I wouldn't do that personally. Mikhail says, do I triple captain Haaland and vice captain Bruno? So I think this one's pretty simple. Really, the answer to this is, it depends on where you are right now. If you're chasing, if you're consolidating, where you're at in the season. If you're trying to push up for a final rank, a final leg up, chasing a mini-league leader. If you are, then I would go for Bruno captain. I'm just playing for fun with my captaincy at this point because it's been a naff season for me. So I've been captaining pretty much everyone but Haaland. But that's what I would do if you're looking for a final punt, because it is the last big opportunity as it's a double game week. But if you're happy where you are or you're consolidating, then Haaland's absolutely the one. I would go for Haaland. John says, Saturday morning Voska and FPL, my day can now begin. The day has just started. An exciting day ahead as well. Some good games on today. Hopefully Rashford is in the team. Hopefully in the 11. I do have my worries. We'll talk about that a bit in the news roundup, because I know a lot of you got Rashford. A lot of you wondering whether to hold, whether to sell, whether to even buy. I wouldn't be buying, I don't think. My gut feeling is he might not start the Bournemouth game, but then maybe starts against Chelsea. Morning, Joseph. Didn't know you were from Gozo. I went there a couple of months ago with my girlfriend. Gozo's awesome. He's having Mackie's breakfast while watching FPL. Best mornings. That's the way to do it. Dan in the chat, he says, why is this your last stream, Oscar? Because I'm going to FPL meets, where I assume I'll see you as well, Dan. Last season I streamed and then went to meets, but I ended up getting there like half an hour into kickoff. So I missed all of the pre-match chat and I missed like half an hour of action as well. So this year I've decided I'm just going to get there for meets and, you know, have time to drink before, not rushing. So yeah, sadly it means I won't stream in Gameweek 38, but yeah, it does mean this is the last stream of the season. Are you going? Are you going to be there? If anyone's not sure what it is, in London there's an FPL meetup where obviously all the games are on at the same time. We've got an entire floor hired out in a pub. So at FPL Meets on Twitter, if you're interested in that. It's in London. There are other ones all over the world, depending on wherever you are. I highly recommend them. The first one I ever went to, I was like, FPL Meetup? I don't know. I'll go along and see how it goes. And I didn't know anyone, and I had the time of my life. And obviously you can't really go wrong when you're hanging out with like-minded people, drinking, watching the football. So yeah, I recommend it. Even if you go solo, everyone's very welcoming. And it's good to push yourself outside your comfort zone as well. I almost didn't start this channel up because it was outside my comfort zone. I'd never talked live or streamed or anything like that. Chris in the chat, how are we doing, Chris? Good to see Chris in the stream as well. Me and Chris are going to the Emirates on the 31st, not to watch Arsenal, but we're actually playing. So I might be doing another vlog of that experience. Crazy, yeah, playing a match at the Emirates. So yeah, if you guys want a vlog of that as well, something like the Anfield one and the other Arsenal one, then let me know. I've been dabbling with vlogs and other bits and bobs of content as the end of the season nears, just to kind of experiment and try some other stuff out before it's all over for a season. Nova says, what happened with Rashford captain? I was dead set on Rashford captain, and then obviously I couldn't believe the timing of this, by the way. I tweeted Rashford captain and I listed reasons. Let me see if I can find the tweet. I tweeted Rashford captain. I had a long list of great reasons why we should go for it, or why we should consider it, especially if you're chasing like me. This was the tweet. Rashford back in training, overlooked due to the yellow flag. He's got Bournemouth and Chelsea. He's top among all mids for non-penalty expected goals. Bournemouth have conceded 87 crosses down Rashford's side. That was at 11:45, and then literally at midday, 15 minutes later, Rashford's a doubt because he's unwell. So yeah, curse of I absolutely jinxed that. Curse of the content creator. So yeah, I'm not on Rashford captain anymore for that reason. So I've gone to Bruno. ABC says, help me out, short in only, or Grealish to Rashford and a City defender in for a -4. And which City defender if I own Bruno, De Gea, Alvarez and Haaland? I wouldn't do Grealish to Rashford for that reason. I think there's a chance he doesn't play the Bournemouth game. Maybe he's on the bench, comes off the bench. It's too risky now. If he was given the all clear, I think it would be an understandable transfer. But we don't 100% know that he's travelled. I think he has, but we don't 100% know that. So I wouldn't sell Grealish. Grealish and Rashford, they could be in the same boat. One start, one bench him. So I wouldn't do that. And I wouldn't take a -4 either for a City defender. Because again, you don't know they're going to start both. Mr. Ace Blader says, hi Oscar, love your content. Thank you for that. David says, no rest for Oscar Poll, the off-season content. Oh, shouldn't have read that out. Yesterday, David said I should do content over the break rather than taking the summer off. I've got loads on over the summer, that's the thing. I've got so much going on. I've got Gameweek 39. I suppose I could do something for that because it's an FPL charity match and there's loads of FPL YouTubers and people on Twitter all playing. It's North v South, so maybe I'll do a vlog of that, but there's loads going on over the summer. I'm going away with my girlfriend on holiday, got Glastonbury Festival, and then another holiday after that. So I don't know how much content I'll have an opportunity to do, but I have got a few ideas written down. Jack says, should I do Ryan and Grealish to De Gea and Mahrez from -4? Oh, that one's close. I think that's just about worth it. The reason being is that Raya obviously has a single away to Tottenham, and then he's got City in 38. So I think that's actually worth it. Yeah, I would do that. I mean, surely the Grealish to Mahrez is optional though. But yeah, I can understand it. I think Mahrez is the better pick among the City mids. THJD says Martinelli to Gundogan. And Tony to Alvarez. If not Alvarez, then who? Yeah, Alvarez is the one. He's the standout this week. 6 mil. I don't know if he starts both. I'll be happy if he does. He has started the last 4 in a row. I bought him here, I think it was. So, in classic FPL focal fashion this season, I picked him up here. He starts 3, which is pretty rare for a City attacker, but no returns in 3. But I do think he's a good pick for the run-in. So yeah, Tony to Alvarez, I like that. There's not really anyone else that comes to mind. Martial, I wouldn't go there. Ferguson, I wouldn't. Welbeck, I wouldn't. Martinelli to Gundogan. How much is Gundogan? Can you not afford one of the others? I think Mahrez is the best of the City mids, but yeah, if you're tight for cash, then Gundogan's fine. Abadi says, do you reckon Wilson plays this game week? I think he does. I think he does. Unless there's obviously like any injuries or anything we don't know about. But I think he probably does, yeah. Because top four's not mathematically sealed, right? They are third on 69. So they just need to win this one, I think, and then it's sealed. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they just lock it in. Playing at home as well. So it makes sense to me to play the best 11. Lock in top 4 in front of the home fans. Atmosphere will be bouncing, so I think he starts, yeah. Might even be the same 11. Injury dependent. Nick says Edison and Isak to De Gea and Alvarez for a hit. No, I wouldn't sell Edison for a hit. I wouldn't sell Edison for a hit. Isak to Alvarez, just do that. Don't take a -4 for a goalkeeper. I know Edison's been an absolute troll, but I wouldn't do that. Has Shaw travelled? We don't know 100%. He wasn't spotted getting off the coach, but he could have easily travelled separately. That's happened before. So we don't know. Let's go through the news roundup actually, because there's quite a bit to cover here. Starting with Liverpool. I don't suppose any of you are tempted, but Firmino is available for Liverpool versus Aston Villa. Nunez is sidelined. It's Firmino's last ever home game for Liverpool. Do you reckon he starts, or do you reckon he gets a cameo off the bench? Not sure whether Klopp will, consider the sentiment or not, because they're still playing for top 4. There is a chance of it, so maybe not. Could be Jota. I'm sure we'll see Firmino involved though. Quick Chelsea update. Mount, James and Chilwell and Kante and Cucurella are not fit. Koulibaly has been training, but he won't feature either. So quite a lot of players missing for Chelsea for that Man United game. Brentford news, which I'm sure you're all well aware of by now, but Tony's been banned for 8 months. So we're not going to see Tony until about Gameweek 20 next season. 8-month ban. That was for the betting scandal. Man United news. So this is what Ten Hag said. And Rashford was spotted on training, just to give some context. Ten Hag says, Rashford has trained well the whole week, but today he reported he's ill. We'll have to see how he recovers during the day and see tomorrow. So this one's an absolute spanner in the works. How are we doing, Savio? Absolute spanner in the works. I was going to captain Rashford. But yeah, this is kind of enough for me to be put off by it. And then there was some forensics going on Twitter. FPL Tommy Gunn went to the game, well not to the game, sorry, went to the Hilton Hotel in Bournemouth where the players were getting off the coach. And people were, trying to spot if Rashford was here. People are speculating that that's Rashford there with the hood up. But it's hard to tell. You can't really see there, can you? You can't really see if that's Rashford or not there getting off. So, we're not sure, basically. I think he travelled, as I said yesterday. I think he's travelled. Whether he starts or not is another question, but I wouldn't captain him. I wouldn't sell him either. Even if he only gets Chelsea, that's still 2 home games, and who would you realistically sell him for? Unless it's for Bruno, I really don't think it's worth it. But even then, I think I would just keep Rashford. Because if he misses Bournemouth, then he could have Chelsea at home, Fulham at home. That's Varane. Yeah, this is it. I mean, it could be another player. I don't think it's Varane. I think he was seen getting off separately. I might be mistaken, but yeah, it could be Elanga. There's loads of players it could be. So yeah, you might be right though. It could be Varane. And obviously, if he is ill, he could still have travelled, but separately, which would be quite a reasonable thing for them to make him do if he is actually ill. So it could be that. It's not Wan-Bissaka though. I did look into it, and the player just after that player is Wan-Bissaka. I mean, Twitter was hilarious last night. People were looking at the headphones and then looking at other photos that Wan-Bissaka had arrived in. And yeah, to be fair, Wan-Bissaka was the one after that unknown player, because it's the same headphones that he wears. So yeah, that wasn't Wan-Bissaka, that one. Wan-Bissaka was seen separately. Chandik says, would you do Salah to Mahrez or KDB? Not Mahrez. I don't think I'd sell Salah, to be honest with you. I could understand the temptation to get KDB because it's a double gaming for him, but I'm just not sure if KDB starts both. That's the thing. They could wrap the league up against Chelsea, and then Pep can do whatever he wants, really. So I don't think I'd sell Salah. And obviously, Game Week 38, Salah's got Southampton, already relegated. And Sellers has actually said that he's going to give the youngsters a run out as well. So, you know, since they're already relegated. So I wouldn't be surprised if Game Week 38 is a cricket score for Liverpool. So, same answer to the FPL guy. I wouldn't sell Salah for Gundogan. Is Garnacho a good punt? Probably not. I'm not sure if he starts. Maybe he starts one if Rashford's out. But I imagine it could be Sancho and Anthony if Rashford's out, right? Pratik says he's got Rashi, Ake and 1.1 mil. What transfer to make? What's the latest on Ake? I would be tempted to just roll the transfer. And this is the thing. Just because it's a double game week, it doesn't mean you have to spend your transfers. Game week 38, there's 10 games kicking off at the same time, so there's potentially a lot of early news there. Ake thigh injury. I think he's much better now, but I don't know. Today we finally had a day off. Now we have training in a few hours. We'll see. So yeah, useless from Pep as always. If you don't have Shaw, then I would go Ake to Shaw. Beyond that, who is there? If you're already tripled up in Man United, then probably Ruben Diaz. But the City defenders are just such a nightmare. Diaz is the most reliable one, I would say. He's been Pep's 90-minute man all season. So, yeah, Ake to Diaz, but Shaw, I think, is above all the City defenders. George says, Oscar, do you reckon you'll do any FPL or football-related streams over the summer? Love the live stream format. Probably not, to be honest. I don't know what I would realistically stream over the summer. I don't play FIFA anymore, so probably not FIFA or anything like that. So I don't think I'll do any streams. This is going to be the last stream until probably Game Week 1 next season. Maybe I'll do a pre-season stream or something like that. Could do something like that, like rating your drafts. Because it might be like the start of July when the game launches, so it might only be like 5-6 weeks away. Spook says, thanks for all the live streams and content this season, Oscar. First season playing FPL and your content has been a staple. Good luck for the last push. Thank you for that, Spook. I hope you've enjoyed your first season. Thanks for watching all the content. Thanks for the super chat as well to CTie16. Thank you for that. Undefeated Raffle says, hi Oscar, would you take Still, Fernandez and Greenwood for a -8 or Still, Anthony and Martial / Alvarez for a -8? Still, Fernandez, Greenwood or Still, Anthony and Alvarez? It really depends who you'd start in Greenwood's place is the answer to that, because obviously the latter one's got probably 2 extra fixtures, but the first one you're obviously not going to start Greenwood, so it depends who you have to start. I do think Bruno's a really good asset to have this week. I fancy him to have a good double game week, so I prefer the first one personally, as long as you've got someone reasonable to play in Greenwood's place. I prefer the first one. Manas says, free hit team, please. You know what? I don't know if you guys watched yesterday's experts video, but one expert used his free hit, and I did DM him, admittedly, too last minute. So he didn't get back to me until after I'd finished the video. But he did still send me the team, so I'll share that with you guys if you're interested. Top manager, FPL Greg. Here's his free hit team. I haven't actually had a chance to think about a free hit team, but this is who he's gone for on his free hit. He's got Edison in goal. Back 3 is Trent, Estepinian, Shaw, Rashford, Bruno, McAllister, Mahrez, Salah, Wilson and Haaland. Interestingly, he's left out Mitoma, and I actually can understand this one. I wouldn't be surprised if Mitoma's benched for one game. I hate to say it as a Mitoma owner, but yeah, McAllister's had the rest, so I think he actually makes the most sense on a free hit. Mahrez I would have. Haaland. Yeah, and then it's just the third Man City player. Maybe you'd swap Rashford for someone like... You could punt on Gundogan, perhaps. That's really the only thing I would change here. Or you have Alvarez instead of Wilson. But yeah, if I was on a free hit, it would look very much like this. And this is the free hit team of that one manager in yesterday's experts video. For those of you that saw that. Yeah, I didn't actually get the team in time, but that was my fault. I messaged him. You guys probably don't know this, but I work on videos every night. And it was like 10 PM and I was editing the experts video, making a start on it. And I was like, oh, I forgot to ask him. And I did, but it was too late. Not his fault. 12 John says Grealish and Tony to Fernandes and Alvarez from -4. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. I do think Alvarez and Grealish, they could get one start, one bench in each, but I like that, yeah. Tony has to go. So it's just whether you do Tony to Alvarez and start Grealish, or you move Grealish to Fernandes. And I do think that Grealish to Fernandes is worth it. So yeah, I would do that. I think over the last 2 league games, one of them Grealish didn't play at all, and the other one he came off the bench and played 12 minutes. So yeah, I like that. Best non-double gaming players. I think it has to be Wilson, right? The form he's in. Did any of you guys have Wilson last game week? Or even captain him? Fair play to the Wilson captainers. That was brutal because I didn't have Wilson and I didn't have Estepinian. I was already on triple Brighton, already on triple Newcastle. So I had no route to get into Wilson or Estepinian. Not that I expected Estepinian to do what he did. I really fancied Brighton to concede in both games because it was a tough away double. But yeah, fair play. Tobias says easy cap. Yeah, fair play to the Wilson owners. That was a brutal one to watch on the sidelines as an Isak owner. I ended up captaining Trippier though. By the way, some of you hindsight merchants, the heat I got in my comments for captaining Trippier after one game, the comments I got, like, how's that Trippier going for you, Focal? How's Captain Trippier going for you, Oscar? And then he goes and outscores Isak, and it was only between Isak and Trippier for me, so yeah. The hindsight merchants in full force. Yeah, that was a massive relief, I have to say, because after all those comments, I was starting to think I've made a massive mistake here. But Trippier came in clutch. By the way, you know, those of you that watch my team selection videos know that I've just been messing around with captaincy for the tail end of the season, playing for fun. But my captaincies have actually worked out recently. Basically, going against the crowds worked out. So it was Trippier over Isak. That worked out. The week before, I went Salah captain against Haaland. Haaland was like 180% EO, so that was really scary. That came off. The week before that, again, Salah captain. He got 36. Haaland got 16, so not a massive gap. Don't ask me what happened before that. The week before that, it did go wrong. That was when I went Kane against Bournemouth and Kane blanked. But yeah, it's been kind of freeing to just go a bit YOLO with captaincies at the tail end of the season. I've still been totally committed to the videos, of course, but you know, in terms of captaincies, I've just been having fun for the last 5 or so game weeks. Start Still or Edison? I would start Edison. I think Brighton aren't going to keep a clean sheet against Man City, let's be honest. So realistically, it's just that Southampton game, whereas City could keep a clean sheet in either. So logically, I would say Edison. I know, the Kane captaincy, David. That was actually horrendous. Because Kane played just before. And he blanked. And then I think it was the City game afterwards. And I couldn't watch it. I literally went for like an hour walk. I turned notifications off and everything. I was like, I can't do this to myself. But someone messaged me on WhatsApp, which I didn't anticipate. And it said something like, commiserations, Focal. And I was like, oh God, what's Haaland done here? But yeah, anyway, that was a testing game week. It's been a tough season. The crazy thing is, I haven't done anything differently to what got me to #1 last season. I haven't played any differently to what's done me well in the past. For those of you that know about FPL review, you can chuck in your ID and it rates your season based on how you'd be expected to do versus how you actually did. And on that, I'm about minus 113 points variance. So even if I was break-even variance, I would be top 100k right now. But yeah, if you're unlucky, you can really get on the wrong side of variance in this game. That's just how football is. It's a very random game, football. Which is great, by the way, because that does mean that it's impossible to solve FPL. You know, there's all this AI growth going on, but football is just completely random. And the beauty of FPL is it's never going to be a solved game. So, for better or worse, we love the randomness. Xavi says Isaac out for Alvarez, already taken a -8. Nah, I wouldn't do it for a -12. Not for a -12, Xavi. But thanks for that. No, I wouldn't do that for a -12. Janega says Mitoma to Mahrez and Isaac to Enciso -4. I actually don't mind that. I wouldn't be surprised if Enciso starts. Maybe over Mitoma. And then the second game, who knows? I actually don't mind that. Again, you are punting that Mitoma misses a game. Yeah, I actually don't mind that. I don't mind that at all. And that's quite an exciting pair of differentials you're bringing in. Yeah, I like that. I would go for that. Callum says, I kept Kane since the wildcard, rank 105k, thank you for the content. Fair play, by the way, to Callum and anyone else that kept hold of Kane. Because all he's done all season is chip away with the goals, the assists as well, and he's returned in more games than Haaland even. But somehow, throughout the season, we've just been selling Kane for one reason or another for other players. I suppose it's not been too bad if you've had Salah and Haaland as of late, because obviously Salah's smashed it recently, like over the last 10. I think he's blanked once. But lots of questions about captaincy, so let's do a captain poll. Who are the main options this week? Haaland. I think we have to leave Rashford out now, so who would be the next option after that? Haaland, Bruno. Who else is there? Haaland, Bruno. I don't know. I don't think you'd include Rashford. Would you include Rashford? The thing is, he's a doubt though, isn't he? So, would you? Other Man City player? Should I just put that? No one's going to captain Kane, are they? I'll just put other Man City player. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, get your votes in. I'm interested to know who you guys captain him. I think we have to leave Rashford out. I feel like he's a bit too risky now, don't you think? I feel like he's a bit too risky. I wouldn't be surprised if he travelled, but I don't know if he's going to start, you know, if he is really ill. So I think it's just a needless risk. If you're going to captain a Man United player, then just captain Bruno. By the way, although he's not been like hauling recently, his underlying numbers have been very good. Like 1.03 XGI, 0.51, 0.59, 0.49, 1.21. His numbers are really good recently, so I think Bruno's absolutely the one if you're chasing a mini league leader or if you're looking for a punt as a leg up in the rank. Obviously it's a massive risk, like Haaland's the obvious one, and I'm not going to be surprised if he's leading the poll here. If I was to guess, I would say Rashford has travelled, benched against Bournemouth, starts against Chelsea. That's my guess. So act accordingly, but I wouldn't captain him. I'm surprised we've not had any leaks though. I will keep checking in case we get any during the stream, obviously, and I'll relay anything to you guys if there is anything. But yeah, as it stands, nothing here. I'll keep an eye on that though. Edison or De Gea? De Gea. John says, Oscar, clean sheet odds. Yeah, these are the clean sheet odds for game week 37. I've combined the odds for those with a double game week. So City top, they've got a 66.8% chance of keeping at least one. Man United second, 59.6. Brighton 54.8. Newcastle 42. Liverpool 37. I'm actually surprised City's so much higher there. The thing is with Edison is City's defence is so good they never keep. He never gets many saves. He rarely racks up 3 saves to get a save point. Man United do. And De Gea is actually leading the Golden Glove as well, which is surprising. That surprised me when I heard that. I don't know about you guys, but everyone's been hating on De Gea this season. I mean, he's not had an outstanding season, but in terms of clean sheets, he's leading the Golden Glove. In fact, he's a lock-in to win it. At worst, I think he will joint win it. Brighton 54.8%, Newcastle 42%, Liverpool 37.5%, Southampton rock bottom, Leicester, Aston Villa and Bournemouth. Right, get your guesses in the chat. Who's going to be the king of Game Week 37? It's the last time I'm going to ask you guys on stream this season. Get your answers in the chat. Who's going to be the top scorer of Game Week 37? It was Callum Wilson last week. I think quite a few of you got that. So well done anyone who got Wilson last week. McNeil the week before, no one got. Guesses in the chat. Who's it going to be? David, thanks for the super chat. He says, what's today's drink? Today I'm having a cup of tea. I've got my fplfocal former #1 in the world mug. Oh, that's messed up the green screen filter. Former #1 in the world. FPL merch sent me that. So shout out to them. Right, guesses in the chat. Who's it going to be? John says Eze. Nishat says Mahrez. Mladen says Mitrovic. HH says KDB hopefully. Guessing you're a KDB owner. Rich says Foden. Spook says Alvarez. Razvan says Stones. Andrew says Maguire. The line said Meow and Akil say Haaland. Undav. Quite if it's Undav. Anyone remember back before Game Week 1 when Undav came in at like 5 mil or 5.5? We were like, oh, we're going to have Undav in our Game Week 1 teams. Like, he's so underpriced. You know, like he was top scorer in the Belgian league. And then he barely played for like 35 game weeks up until recently. Morning, Brian. How we doing? David had Undav in Game Week 1. Yeah, he was in some of my drafts. I was like, oh, this is great. We've got a 5.5 mil forward. Like, he's got an incredible record in the Belgian league. I think it was Belgian league anyway. Anyway, so yeah, just a couple more spots to fill on the Kings of the Game Week, and then we are done. But yeah, thank you for getting your guesses in. That is the last time I'll ask on the stream this season. For those of you joining late, Game Week 38, I won't be live, unfortunately. I'm going to the FPL meetup in London, so I won't be able to stream that. Good morning, Martin. How we doing? Connor says, he's chasing a mini league. Salah to Bruno captain, or Isak to who? I think this one depends on those above you. If those above you have Bruno, then I wouldn't bother. Isak to Alvarez is the one I like. Maybe they're not looking at that. I mean, yeah, Salah to Bruno is the higher upside one, 100%, because then you captain Bruno. Yeah, it's Isak to Alvarez or Salah to Bruno captain. I really would have a look at the teams above you and then move accordingly. If they don't have Bruno, then I think you have to do it if you chase him. Unless it's close, of course. Like if you're only trailing by like 10 points, that's very recoverable. If you're like 20 plus below, then then I would consider something a bit bolder. Abhinav says, when will you start uploading videos for next season? It will be as soon as the game launches, maybe even slightly before that, if I have any content ideas. I can't remember exactly when the game launched this season. I think it was the start of July. So it could only be about 6 weeks from now. Obviously next week I'm going to make all the Gameweek 38 content as well. It's just that I won't be live. There'll be no live stream. This is the last one of the season. Aiden says, is Rashford still out or playing? We don't know. That's the annoying thing. The people on Twitter were forensically trying to analyse a video of players getting off the bus, and there was someone in a hoodie who got off the bus with their back to the camera. So we don't know if that was Rashford or not. That's the thing. There's nothing concrete that's come out. My guess is that he's travelled, but I doubt to start. Maybe not in the squad, but has travelled. If I had to guess based on what Ten Hag said, I would say he's travelled, doesn't start or doesn't play maybe against Bournemouth at all, and then plays the Chelsea game. So 1 game, 1.5 games, but they do have Fulham at home in 38. So I think he's a hold, even if he misses Fulham. Abhinav says, thanks, loved your videos this season and rose from below 25% in my league to the top 10%. Well played, well played. Yeah, I appreciate all the comments you guys leave on videos, by the way, about how your season's going, how you've caught up in mini leagues, or what rank you are thanks to the videos. I do appreciate all those, and I still read every comment, by the way. I can't obviously reply to every comment nowadays, but I still read every single comment that you leave. I never miss a comment. Good Sonny says, your pick for the underrated FPL start of the season. That's a good question. I think it has to go to... maybe they're not underrated. I was going to say one of the Arsenal mids, but maybe... I think I'd say Ben Mee. Did you guys see the tweet I posted yesterday? Ben Mee made that team, and it made me realise how underrated he is. Right, if you'd pick this team in Game Week 1... all the way back on August the 5th, this exact team, and you just left it, or you'd forgot your password or something like that, right now you'd be 35th in the world on FPL. No transfers, no captaincy changes, no chips used. You'd be 35th heading into Game Week 37 with that team, and Ben Mee made the team. So I would say he's probably an underrated pick of the season, Ben Mee. I've not seen him in that many teams. If any of you guys have had Ben Mee at any point, fair play, because he's actually done well. I think he's top 5 for all defenders, but he's never really been in the conversation at any point. Maybe just that Brentford double. Yeah, that's crazy, isn't it? I mean, no one would have gone into Game Week 1 with triple Arsenal mid and no Salah. I think for most people it was Haaland or Kane and then Salah. Because we're all talking about, oh, you need a premium mid and one premium attacker, keeps you flexible. Well, apparently, Kane and Haaland was the one. No Salah, triple Arsenal mid. But yeah, I can't believe that. 35th in the world. Obviously, it's easier said than done. It's almost impossible to pick this team like that. I mean, there's players here I never would have had. You remember when they priced Trent at 7.5 mil? I was like, they've got this totally wrong. You know, he's off the back of a 200 plus point season. When would you ever see a midfielder on 200 points for 7.5 mil? Like Bowen was 8.5 mil and he scored the same points. But yeah, he wasn't in that team there. It was Alisson in terms of Liverpool defenders. Jack says, Raya, Zinchenko, Watkins to steal Trent and Alvarez for a -4. If it means benching Isak and Trippier and playing Rashford. I think that's okay. Yeah. I would play Rashford. Yeah, definitely. Isak and Trippier. Yeah, there is potential for some bench pain there. But I do like those moves. assuming that you've already got Shaw, I would rate Shaw over Trent for the run-in, just about. Got an extra fixture, decent double game week. I mean, his final 3 fixtures are good. Liverpool's are as well, but I would say Shaw over Trent, just about. If you don't have him, I assume you do. I think that's a fine -4. Benching Isak and Trippier obviously has the potential to hurt you. I'm benching Isak. I don't know what Trippier's availability is. He took a knock last match from Matoma. I imagine I'll play him at all costs to wrap up top 4 though. No, I think that's fine. I would play Rashford as well, even if he doesn't start the first game, which is possible. I would start him regardless. You know, he could come off the bench if he doesn't start. Jesus to Alvarez, I like that, yeah, that's fine. Rashi started. Nothing on Man United. I'll keep an eye in case we get any leaks during the stream, but I don't know if we'll get anything for Man United because their game is at 3 o'clock. Raya to steal or roll. Yeah, I like that. Looking at Brentford's fixtures, it's Tottenham away, City at home. Awful couple of fixtures to end the season on. You know, they'll probably be gutted as well without their talisman Tony. At the back of their head, they're like, you know, we've got nothing to play for in the league. We just lost our star man for the next 8 months. 2 tough fixtures. I would make that transfer, yeah. Bam Bang says, any information about Stones? Did he play or bench? Nothing on Stones. Let me see if there's anything. I believe the Man City team are all available except Ake, who, according to Premier Injuries, has a 25% chance of playing. Expected return, or potential return, of the 28th. So, Gameweek 38. Stones, there's nothing here. I expect he'll start 1 game. Maybe not both, but I would say he starts 1. But that's all we know about Stones, as far as I'm aware. Sorry I don't have more on that. Amaral says Bruno or Haaland for triple captain. I think this one's simple, and the answer is really dependent on where you are right now, what your goals are. If you're happy with your rank, then of course you just go for Haaland and you go for the secure pick because there is potential for Haaland to do a lot of damage. Or likewise, if you're leading your mini league, if you're happy to protect your rank where you are, then Haaland's the one. If you're chasing a mini league leader, or you know, say you're 200k and you want to push for top 100k and you don't care if there's a chance you end up 300k, then Bruno's the one. It really depends on where you are, but that's basically the gist of it this week. I think Haaland and Bruno are the 2 standouts. So in terms of the captain poll results, 69% Haaland, 20% Bruno, 7% are on another Man City player, and 3% are on other. Since we had a question there about triple captaincy, I'm curious if anyone, well, I know some of you do, but how many of you have got chips left? So, get your votes in on this poll. There's only 3 options, obviously. Well, hopefully no one's got... No, I'll leave 3 out as an option, because if anyone's got 3 chips left, then you've screwed up, because you've got 3 weeks to use... You've got 2 weeks to use 3 chips. I don't know if anyone remembers this last season, but last season I found a team that was top 10k, and they had 3 chips to use up in the final 2 game weeks. I mean, that was beyond me. The fact that they'd managed to pull that off, because that did mean they were going to finish the season without using a chip. Luke Smith says -8 to get Bruno in for March, or Mahrez to Bruno. I actually think that's just about worth it, yeah. It depends who you could start instead, but yeah, I actually think that's worth it. March, you know, he's got this hamstring injury. I wouldn't be surprised if he's out again for this double. What's the latest? Potential return of the 5th of June. The latest update was on the 17th. De Zerbi said, I don't know if Solly can play the last part of the season. I think it's worth it. It's not ideal to take a -8, but I wouldn't sell Mahrez as part of a... I assume as part of a hit. I would just take the -8, Bruno in for March. It makes sense to me. Sneba says, desperate for rank, genuinely considering Martial. Martial. He's been a troll this season as well. He's been a real frustration. Does he start both games? What's his minutes like? He comes off early a lot. He could do well. Yeah, he's not a bad shout. He's not a bad shout. He's not a great shout either, but yeah, I don't mind Martial. It's Martial or Alvarez, I think, in terms of the budget forwards. Alvarez seems to be flavour of the week. I've had him for a few weeks now, but those of you that watched the experts video yesterday, he was the top transfer in. 20%, I think, were bringing him in. But yeah, Martial's okay. Arthur says, do you think the scout selection is a decent free hit team? I've got it here actually. As always, I prepare a ton of graphics before we go live, and I do have the scout selection, which is here. Let me know in chat what you think of the team. They've got Alvarez as well, interestingly, not Martial, but they do have Shaw. So they've got Sarr in goal. I don't understand that one. I would have Steele. But anyway, they've got back three, Trent, Shaw and Estepinian. Salah, Bruno, Mahrez, Rashford and Mitoma. And the front two is Haaland, Captain and Alvarez. What do you guys think? Mohit says he's got Kepa, March and Watkins. 2 free transfers, 0.3 mil on the bank. Who should I get? Any differentials? I'm chasing my mini league. It's hard to say without knowing if you've got double City or single City, because you could go Watkins to Alvarez and then sell March for someone like Mahrez if you've got the cash for that. I'm not sure if you do. You might be tight for that. I actually don't hate March to McAllister this week. He's had the benching now. Kepa to Steele. Again, it depends who your backup keeper is. But these are some moves to consider. Kepa to Steele, Kepa to De Gea, Watkins to Alvarez. March, who would you sell March for? I think McAllister. Maybe you could take a punt on Anthony, but he's quite expensive. Yeah, there's not many options. But those are the transfer routes I consider. Watkins to Alvarez, March to McAllister, Kepa to Steele. Some combination of that. It's hard to answer exactly, but John says, Oscar, how concerned are you that ChatGPT will make you redundant next season? I can't see it happening next season. Don't get me wrong, there is a chance that AI gets to the point where it's producing, excellent FPL content on demand. I think there's always going to be an appetite for like human-made content though. Like, realistically, would you guys want to sit here and just listen to an AI give an FPL advice, or would you rather a real person that is putting the work in and talking back to you and spending the time on the videos, as opposed to someone clicking generate FPL video and then 30 seconds later you've got a video? But yeah, there is potential for it to get to that point. Those that follow me on Twitter know I've been messing about with AI all season. Blaze says he wouldn't mind the AI. Sam says real person. Razvan says hell no. I think there's always going to be an appetite for human-made content, a real person. But yeah, there is. I got an interesting DM actually just yesterday. Let me see if I can find this for you guys. Someone had made kind of like a ChatGPT bot, but for FPL, and he asked me to do a bit of beta testing for it. Obviously, this is nowhere near off the point of videos, but he's made like an AI FPL bot. What should we ask it, chat? What should we ask the AI? Any questions? You thought I was AI? I get that a lot because, alright, the problem is I write up what I'm going to say in my videos, so I read it back and it does come across a bit like monotone sometimes, and I don't do that intentionally. What should we ask it? Rashford, or should I buy Rashford or Bruno or Fernandes? Although it is proper beta, and yesterday I asked it question. Oh wow, look at this. Given the current injury status of Rashford, it may be safer to choose Fernandes. Fernandes is available to play This is crazy. Fernandes is available to play and has been in good form with a higher total points. Oh no, and lower price than Rashford. Okay, no. AI's blundered there. Lower price than Rashford. Fernandes has been a consistent source of points with more goal involvements and higher creativity stats compared to Rashford. See, this is why I think it's not there yet. Don't get me wrong. AI right now is the worst it'll ever be, and it's only going to get better, but that's interesting. That's interesting. FPL GPT. Ask it Rashi's location. This will be your replacement, Oscar. I hope not. Right, so there was a poll. How many chips do you have left? 75% have got none. 20% have got one. That's interesting. I didn't expect it to be so high. 5% have got two. Rich C says Kane, Martinelli, and Lewis for Alvarez, Bruno, and Varane -8. I'm not keen on Varane, I'll be honest. He should be okay, but does he start both? Probably does. I mean, selling Kane for -8 obviously has potential to hurt, but Martinelli's out for the season. Lewis, does he start? Fair chance he doesn't. Maybe gets one start. Same could be said about Alvarez, but at least he's high ceiling. I don't mind that, Rich. I think that's okay. Yeah, I don't mind that at all. It's a bit aggressive, but it's logical moves. So, I haven't even talked about my team. For anyone that missed it, I sold Gabriel for sure. And actually there's not much to talk about in terms of my team. Captain Bruno. Luke says, start 2, Rashford and Ciso Mitoma. Oof. I'd start Rashford, so it's between Ciso and Mitoma. It's just whether Mitoma's benched for one or not. I think Mitoma's going to be benched for one game, but it's hard to advocate benching Mitoma, so I'd bench Ciso. Because there is a chance that Ciso's benched for one as well. Tony Irving says, hey, nice free kick, Oscar. Thank you for that. I'm playing at the Emirates on the 31st as well, so hopefully I'll get some good footage from that as well. Might do another vlog. Thanks everyone that watched that vlog, by the way. I didn't think it would do well at all. I expected that vlog to get about 5,000-10,000 views, because obviously there's less overlap with FPL and football content, and there wasn't really much FPL stuff in it, but yeah, surprisingly it's got like 21,000 views, which is pretty good for non-FPL content. So thank you everyone that watched that vlog, by the way. If you haven't seen it, definitely give it a watch. I spent 3 straight days editing that one. Lupo, hang on. One sec, Lupo. I missed that. It's gone off the screen. Rashford keep, mate. He's got KDB as well. Transfers, big up. Yeah, I'd keep Rashford. I won't be surprised if he's benched for Bournemouth and starts for Chelsea. Maybe comes off the bench against Bournemouth. But I would keep him. Even if he ends up getting 2 games, it's 2 home games. Chelsea home, Fulham home. I would keep him. I can't see anyone that's worth selling Rashford for. Bar Bruno, if you're in that good of a position. Morning, Andre. How we doing? Thanks everyone for tuning in, by the way. We have half an hour till the deadline, and I haven't even asked yet, but I'll ask one more time. Or maybe not one more time. I might ask at the end as well. But if you have enjoyed the stream, hit like. Make sure you're subscribed. It is my last stream of the season. It's a bittersweet stream today. Last stream of the 22-23 season. Gameweek 38, I'm going to the FPL meetup in London, so I won't be able to stream, sadly. So it's the last stream. So you'll have to tune into Harry or Raptor. Me, Harry, and Raptor are really good mates. We talk literally every day in a group chat. So head over to one of their streams for Gameweek 38. Don't head over now. Head over to Gameweek 38. AJ says, hi mate, what to do with Van Dijk and Robertson? Depends who you own. If you don't own Shaw, then he's the standout. I think it's fine to have Van Dijk and Robertson for the running. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But if you don't own Shaw, then I think he's the logical one this week. In terms of other defenders, there's not. The problem is we don't know which Man City defenders are expected to start both games, if any. Someone's gonna, but we don't know who. Maybe Diaz is the best shout. Like if you've got spare transfers and nothing to spend them on, then probably Diaz is the one. Estepinian, haven't really talked about him. If you haven't got him, Estepinian, I'd sell one of them for Estepinian, but beyond Shaw and Estepinian, there's no one really. Now Diaz is risky. I don't think I'd do it. Maybe Diaz, he's the only one I'd consider. Akil says, have Ødegaard and one free transfer. Who would you recommend? One free transfer, Ødegaard. McAllister? Mahrez or McAllister? Probably Mahrez if you can get to him. But he's 7.4, Ødegaard's 6.8, so it depends if you've got money in the bank. Mahrez or McAllister, I would say. McAllister, because he was benched last match, so I expect he starts. Just got a message from Az, who's on Bruno captain as well. Good luck, Az. Still neck and neck between Az and Mark in the FPL Black Box League. David says, live until the team news for the last stream. Oh, you want me to stay all the way till the lineups come out? I've never done that before. Should I do that? I suppose I could. No, everyone just dips though when it hits the deadline. That's why I've never bothered. John says, guys, can we get Oscar to 400 likes? There we go. If you are enjoying the stream so far, hit like. Anyway, loads more to talk about. So, if you missed it, this was the twat of Gameweek 36. Twat is short for the worst active team. I couldn't believe this one, by the way. There's been some unbelievable ones this season, but this team scored 60 last game week, which was a 1,000% rank drop. Still an unbelievable rank, but they went from top 100 to just inside top 600. 60 points. Very, very unlucky. Dan Golding says, I'm trying to make up 20 points in the mini-league. Would Anthony captain be a shout? Quite a few questions about Anthony captain. I don't think I would. I mean, how's he been doing recently? I don't think I'd go for Anthony captain. I think if you want to chase, then it's Bruno captain. But I assume you don't have Bruno, which is why you're asking. If you have Bruno, then he would be the one. I know he's been doing a bit better recently. He scored last week, but then, yeah, he blanked 4 in a row before that. He was benched once. I don't think I'd do it. I think it's a bit too bold, captain and Anthony. I don't think I would. Bruno's the one. Rashford probably not now because we don't know if he starts. So probably like Mahrez or McAllister. If you really wanted to bet against Haaland to make up 20 points, then those are the ones. Same answer with Martial. Like, he comes off early. He's not guaranteed to start. You know, Weghorst could start. Rashford could start up top. Maybe Martial gets one start. It feels very risky, you know, and they're not informed players we're talking about here, so it's very risky. Amaral reckons Rashford will start. Interesting. I mean, like I said, if we get any leaks at all, I'll let you guys know, but Man United kick off at 3 PM, so I don't know if we'll get anything in terms of Man United's lineup. Mo Omar says, hey Oscar, 2 free transfers, Raya in goal. Rest of the team is triple City, United, Brighton, and only Haaland from City. Hang on, triple City, but only Haaland from City. Goalkeeper transfer, or Isaac to Alvarez, or other City players. I think if you've got Raya in goal, then it makes slightly more sense to sell him. Isak's got a good fixture. Raya's got 2 bad fixtures. But are you saying you've got triple United and Brighton? In which case there's no one you could buy really. Yeah, Isak to Alvarez, I would say, is the one. Unless you're saying you're not on... You must not be on Triple City, though. You said Triple City, but you can't be if you're looking at Isak to Alvarez. But then if you can do that, then I would say have a look at... But you said you only got Haaland from City. So Isak to Alvarez, Raya to Ederson. No? I think that's the one. Right, not Triple City. So Isak to Alvarez, Raya to Ederson. Can you afford that? If not, then I would just do Isak to Alvarez. Because yeah, there's no goalkeepers that you can bring in that are worth it really. And I'd take the second transfer into 38. And by the way, I have to mention that if you can, take 2 transfers into 38. Because we all know how prevalent the leaks are in early news now. And next weekend, on Sunday, all 10 games kick off at the same time. So that's 20 teams that there could be early news for. So I'm not sure if I'm glad or sad to be missing out on a Gameweek 38 stream. Because that's going to be chaos. I feel like the leaks are more prevalent than ever. So if you can have 2 transfers next game week, then that's going to be very helpful. Shuaib says, it looks like the AI was using ChatGPT's AI. ChatGPT works on data before 2021, which is why the stats were wrong. Oh, interesting. But it knew about Rashford's injury. I think what he did, I think he used ChatGPT's API, but he's plugged in some data. Jan, thanks for the super chat. He says, thanks for the season content. Poor man Stoikov. Is he the striker? I was going to say Bulgarian striker. I appreciate that anyway. Thank you for that. Right, I think I'm caught up on chat. Keep your questions coming in. We've got less than half an hour till the deadline. So yeah, Bruno captain for me. Gabriel to Shaw was my transfer this week. Triple captain Haaland is the question. That one's been a popular question this week. You know, who to captain. It really depends on where you are right now. If you're chasing or if you're not. If you're looking to make up rank or on a mini league leader, then this is the last big opportunity to bet elsewhere. Because you expect that people are going to go for Haaland. So I would say Bruno is the best alternative. If you're happy where you are with your rank or you want to just lock down a mini league spot, then Haaland's your one. Or if it's very, very close in a mini league, then you may still want to go for Haaland and just look to make up the points elsewhere. What's this message? Hang on, just been messaged something. Rashford's travelled. From FPL Heisenberg. But he has added a caveat. Rashford didn't travel with the squad, however he is believed to have travelled down separately. His fitness will be decided this morning after falling ill yesterday. He says, new source, can't fully guarantee it, but I do trust it personally. That's what I suspected as well, that he has travelled, but he wasn't on the coach. So he might be benched against Bournemouth and then starts Chelsea, which is what I was saying. That's my prediction. Pranjal says, best option here of double Bryson, Maka Mitoma, Trippier to Estepinian, Isak to Enciso Ferguson, or play Isak and Trippier to save a transfer. I quite like Trips to Estepinian myself. Yeah, I think that's the one. I would do that, especially because Trippier's flagged. I hope he's fine. Otherwise, I've got Botman off the bench. Yeah, I think that's the best move. I wouldn't sell Isak to Encise or Ferguson. The one you could consider is Alvarez. He was the most popular transfer in the on the experts video yesterday, so I think he's a good shout. He's only 6 mil. Probably starts one, bench one, and then if the league's wrapped up, Gameweek 38, I imagine he'll probably start as well. So two out of 3 starts for the best attacking team in the league. But if you tripled on City already, then go for the Trippier to Estepinian route. Why Isak over Alvarez? It's the other way around. I've started Alvarez. He's got a double game week. It's like I said, the best attacking team in the league. He's got a double game week. What's not to love? John says we need 96 likes to get to 500. There we go, 90. Let's get to 500. And there was a question as well about my summer. I'm going away a couple of weeks after Gameweek 38. In fact, before that is Gameweek 39. Not FPL, but it's an FPL charity match. And there is a fantasy game for that. I'll tweet about it a bit nearer the time. But you can actually pick a fantasy team of FPL YouTubers and content creators and whatnot playing in this charity match, North, East, South. So that's a week after Gameweek 38. And then I've got a couple of holidays planned, going to Glastonbury Festival. So quite a lot going on in the summer. But we're probably only about 6 weeks away, and then the game's back for 23-24. Imran says Trippier and Mac out for Kirill Mahrez from -4. No, I wouldn't do that. Definitely not. No, I think Mac's fine. If anything, he's had his benching, and I wouldn't be surprised if he starts the final 3. Brighton's still playing for a European spot, by the way. I was quite surprised to see him bench last week. As it stands, they're in 6th place, which is Europa League, but 7th is Europa Conference League, and Tottenham are 1 point behind them, though Brighton do have a game in hand. But they do have to play City still. So, no, I wouldn't sell Mac. Dave says he's got Haaland and Alvarez, Salah and Rashford. Do I swap Grealish and Trippier for Shaw and Bruno for a -8? For a -8? That's a difficult one to justify. I wish we knew what the status of Trippier was. That's the thing. He took a knock last match from Mitoma. He came off with a few minutes to go. I imagine he'll start. I imagine he'll be okay. I would just about do that, I think. Just about. Because I think Grealish doesn't start one game. Trippier, he is a doubt. I think it makes sense. There is potential for that to backfire, let's be honest. But I think that makes sense just about. I think Bruno is the next best option this game week after Haaland, which is why he's my captain. If you're chasing, then Bruno's the one. And I think Shaw's an excellent pick as well. And obviously Man United's Game Week 38 fixture is Fulham at home. Really, really good fixture. Fulham got nothing to play for. I feel like that could be a high scoring game. So I like that, and I wouldn't be at all surprised if Bruno does well in 38 as well. So I would do that just about. I think that -8 will be repaid. If not this week, then by the time Game Week 38 is done. Where did I get to? Oh, Sean, thanks for the 5 gifted. Almost missed that. Hopefully I didn't miss any others. Thank you for that, Sean. Those went to Plumno, Alims, Samar, and Alex. If you got a gifted membership, make sure you thank Sean for that. Thank you, Sean. Thank you for the support there. Kieran says, hit Rashford or Grealish and Isak to Bruno and Alvarez. I'd need to bench Mitoma, Mac, or Wilson then. Hang on. Hit Rash, Grealish, and then Isak to Bruno. What do you mean? Rashford to Grealish? And Isak to Bruno and Alvarez? Oh, I see what you're asking. Grealish to Bruno and Isak to Alvarez. I think that's fine. I quite like that. I think that's good. I'd go for that. I wouldn't sell Rashford. Keep Rashford. Oh, you'd need to bench Mitoma, McAllister or Wilson then. I think I'd bench Wilson just about because he's got the single game week. Yeah, that does have potential, that one, to backfire, but it does make sense. Jonathan says, is it Jonathan or Jonathan? Jonathan. Grealish to Mahrez or Isak to Alvarez? Isak to Alvarez. Got 2 free. Roll the second. Grealish to Mahrez. I don't know if that's worth a free transfer. I think take 2 into 38. Sneever says, do you think City's going to win the treble? I hate to say it, but I do, yeah. I do think so. I think they'll win the league. I think they beat Inter. And then it's just whether Man United can pull an upset, which they certainly could, but you've got to say that City are favourites. I do think they'll win the treble. What do you guys think? Do you think City win the treble? David says no. Rashford to Bruno. If you can afford it, I think Rashford to Bruno is a good move, yeah. I don't mind that. Jack says, Captain Haaland, Rashi or Mahrez. I'm chasing 12 points. 12 points isn't a lot. I wouldn't captain Rashi, so it's Mahrez or Haaland. Yeah, Mahrez is okay, but 12 points isn't a lot. But yeah, it depends on the players that the team above you have that you're trying to make 12 points up on. If they've got largely the same team, then it's going to be harder to make up those 12 points. Yeah, I think Mahrez is fine. Do you guys think Haaland starts both? Rashford doesn't start. Yeah, this is what I said earlier. My suspicion is that he doesn't start against Bournemouth today, but he starts against Chelsea. And for that reason, he's a reluctant sell, unless it's for Bruno, because he still has 2 home games, maybe 2.5 if he comes off the bench against Bournemouth. Allegedly travelled independently. You don't reckon City win the treble? It's been quite a heated debate recently, Man City. You know, I was browsing this soccer subreddit, and people were, talking about how it's a world-class footballing project, but is it a sports washing project? They've got 115 charges against them. You reckon Inter beat them? Anyway, that's a big conversation for another day, Man City and what they've achieved. Because they are an incredible team. Pep's an incredible manager, make no mistake. Lupo says Bruno, Mahrez and Isak, -4. Or Bruno, Rashford and Alvarez, -8. I'd go for the first one, the -4. Yeah, Bruno, Mahrez and Isak. Thanks for the super chat. Abadi says 15 minutes away from the farewell. Yeah, for those of you that missed it, this is a bittersweet stream. Gameweek 37. Next week, I'm not doing a Gameweek 38 stream because I'm heading into London for the Gameweek 38 FPL meetup. I did the stream last season and then went to the meetup, but it's a bit of a trip into London for me, so I ended up getting there well into the games. Didn't have a chance to chat to everyone pre-match, so it's the penultimate game week, but it's the last stream of the season for me. But I'll save the speeches for the end. 15 minutes till the deadline. But yeah, I appreciate all your support this season, goes without saying. Russell says, I'm doing Mitoma and Isak, Mahrez and Ferguson or Enciso. Yeah, Ferguson or Enciso, that's such a hard one. Are there any Brighton fans in the chat that could say what you think about Enciso? I do wonder whether he starts both, maybe at the expense of Mitoma the first match, and then maybe the second one he plays through the middle, centrally. I think Enciso. Am I right in saying Welbeck's available? So I just think there's too much competition there to go for Ferguson. And Cisse can play behind. I think Welbeck's available, so that's Ferguson and Welbeck competing. So I'd take a punt on Cisse. Anonymous person says, why is there no talk about KDB? I suppose it's because he's been rotated quite a bit recently. In the league anyway. He's been used in the Champions League first, League second. So he's been rotated quite a bit. I had him on my free hit team a couple of weeks ago, and he ended up playing not a single minute in that double. So I think he's just too much of a rotation risk right now. You know, if we knew or suspected that he starts, then obviously he's an excellent pick. But I feel like he's too much of a risk. I won't be surprised if Mahrez outscores him, for example. Dive says, who do I bench, Rashford or Mitoma? I would bench Mitoma. I think Rashford might be benched. I think both will be benched for one game. But, you know, Mitoma could be benched for Southampton, start against City, for example. Hard to predict, though. I think I'd bench Mitoma. Brighton fans seem to be predicting that he's going to be benched, so I would say Rashford's the better pick between the two if they both have an equal chance to be being benched for one, starting one. Peter says, best Man United defender other than Shaw. I think it has to be... I think it might be Lindelof. I know Varane's back, but can we trust him to come straight back in and start both? You know, maybe Lindelof and Shaw centre-back pairing for one game, and Varane sits one out. It's between Lindelof and Varane. Wan-Bissaka and Dalot are competing. Shaw's a lock. So other than Shaw, it's Lindelof or Varane. I think Lindelof, actually. Let me know, Man United fans, do you agree with that? Or do you think Varane's a lock-in to start both games, just back from injury? How are you, Oscar? I'm very well. Yeah, I'm excellent. Yeah, as I say, it's a bittersweet stream. It's the last stream of the season, so I'm going to be sad not to be doing the streams anymore. But I've absolutely loved this season, despite it being my worst rank-wise. I've absolutely loved it. The growth's been crazy. The channel's doubled in size. But anyway, I'll save the speeches for the end. We've got 10 minutes. Keep your FPL questions coming. You don't trust Varane's hammies. Shreyan says Varane starts one, I guess. Craig reckons he probably starts both. Yeah, it's really hard to say what the centre-back situation will be. You know, maybe it'll be Lindelof and Shaw centre-back one game. Sam reckons he'll start both. Start Ruben Diaz or Trippier? I would start Diaz. Grealish to Fernandes. Yeah, I like that. I like that move a lot. For anyone that missed it, the Man United news was that he has reportedly travelled, not with the squad, travelled separately. There's another one here as well. Let me share this with you. I would not sell Rashford this week. He'll likely start against Chelsea in 37 and Fulham in 38. FPL Heisenberg said that he did travel. He said, take it with a grain of salt, not his usual sources, but he did travel, but travelled separately. So I reckon he'll be on the bench against Bournemouth today, and then starts against Chelsea and starts against Fulham. For that reason, he's a reluctant sell, unless it's for Bruno. I think then you can justify it. Connor says he's chasing the mini league, 20 points behind. Bruno captain, Isaac to Alvarez -4. Yeah, I think that's okay. I would do that. I feel like that's quite a high upside move. Yeah, Isak's been good, but I think I would do that just about. I think Alvarez starts 2 of the final 3. There's not guaranteeing that Isak starts. He's been very good, but there's no guaranteeing that he starts. He probably does. Yeah, I would do that. Steele or De Gea? De Gea. Eze or Cher? Who have Palace got? I would start Eze. I forget who they have, but I would favour the attacker there. Eze's in good form. Rashford or Isak? Rashford. Kepa or Raya? I mean, if you have Kepa, you could start him just in case, for any reason, he is back in the team. You know, maybe Mendy has a problem, because it is a double game week for Chelsea. If I had both, I suppose I would just start Kepa just in case. The absolute worst case scenario is that Kepa comes off the bench in the second game for a Mendy injury or something like that, or starts one, but I think that's unlikely. He starts both or none at all. Probably none at all. Gundogan starts. No idea on Gundogan. The City team's so hard to predict. I imagine he starts one, benched one. I think if City can wrap up the league against Chelsea, we might see a fair bit of rotation against Brighton. We could see some fringe players getting minutes. Sellers said that that's going to happen for Southampton, so, you know, looking a bit ahead to Game Week 38. You could captain Salah in 38 if you chase him. Could see a rotated Southampton side. Some youngsters to get chances who have been training recently, reportedly. Sterling or Salah? Salah. Start Isak or Wilson? Oh, sorry. Isak or Mitoma? Mitoma. Dunk or Trippier? Dunk. Rashford or Odegaard? Start one. Rashford. My gut feel is that Rashford's going to be benched today against Bournemouth. Might come off the bench. Maybe he gets 20 minutes or something. And then he starts against Chelsea. Starts against Fulham. So, you know, I think at worst he gets one game this week. Which is the same for Odegaard. So I would say... I actually think Nottingham Forest away is going to be a tough game for Arsenal. I think Arsenal are going to be feeling down. You know, the league's pretty much away from them now. Top four's locked up. I don't think it's going to be an easy game. Forest fighting for their lives. They're obviously a very good team at home. Terrible away. I think that's going to be a tough game. I'd certainly start Rashford over Odegaard. Jesus against Forest or Mitoma? Mitoma. I do think we're going to see Brighton rotation as well. It might be Mitoma that misses one, but I'd still start Mitoma. I think this is going to be an annoying game week. I think there's going to be lots of rotation, and it's going to end up a single game week or a 1.5 game week for quite a few players, but it is what it is. At the tail end of the season, it's what we have normally. Isak to Alvarez, yeah, I like that. If you're an Isak owner, I like the Alvarez transfer. Again, we could see a rotation. Alvarez might start one, might be benched for one. He has started the last 4 in a row in the league, which is interesting. I think he's good for the running though. Especially if City can wrap up the league against Chelsea, then, you know, he could get 2 starts in 3. Sterling or Foden? Foden. Anna says captain Mahrez and Haaland. In terms of captaincy this week, if you're chasing rank or chasing a mini league leader, then captain Mahrez, captain Bruno. If you're happy where you are, you're consolidating, or you want to just lock down first place in your mini league, then Haaland's the one. So it really depends on that, and then, you know, pick accordingly. Beyond Haaland, I would say Bruno's the next best captain, probably then Mahrez. Luke Smith says, so why captain Bruno over Haaland? I've been just going for fun captains the last few weeks, basically. There's nothing to play for me, so I've been just taking some fun punts for captaincy. And to be fair, it's actually been working recently. Last week, I captained Trippier over Isak. That worked. The week before that, I captained Salah over Haaland. Salah got 10, Haaland got 2. Week before that, I captained Salah, who got 18. Haaland got 16. Not many points gained, to be fair. It's not worked all the time. The week before that, I captained Kane when he scored 2 against Bournemouth. And I was at home as well, so that was an upset when he scored 2 points. And they lost, obviously. BM says, who to vice captain? Rash, Mac, Mitoma, Salah or Shaw? I think Mac, actually. Yeah. I would say Mac. Gut feeling, gut feeling is that Rashford doesn't start today. So I would go Mac, who's just been benched last match. I imagine he starts both this double, so I would say Mac. Alvarez or Wilson? Alvarez. Starting Ciso? Yeah, start him. Isak or Elise? Isak. You bought Madueke. Fair play, Rodrigo. Start Rashford or Salah? Rashford or Salah? I actually think I'd start Salah, just based on all the rumours that he's a doubt for today's game. No, there must be someone else you can bench. Rashford or Salah? Yash Jane says 3 minutes to go. 3 minutes, and then that is the last deadline of the season in terms of streams passed. Keep your questions coming in. I'll do my best to answer as many as possible. Very quickly on the most transferred players while I read your messages. These are the most transferred in and out players. I won't have a chance to go through the list. I'll just skip through it in case you're interested in the top transfers. John says, Oscar, see you at FPL meets for a selfie. Definitely, John, I'll see you there. Looking forward to that next Sunday. And the Monday's a bank holiday as well, so it's going to be an excellent day. I can't wait for it. Thoughts on Undav? I would avoid Undav. I don't think he starts both. He had a bit of a crazy game last match, didn't he? I think he scored and then scored an own goal, or the other way round. But no, I don't think he starts both. Keep the questions coming in. KDB to Mahrez or another Man City mid? I wouldn't sell KDB. I don't think I'd sell KDB. I can understand the temptation, but it just feels wrong selling KDB before a double game week. I don't think I would do that. If I had KDB, I don't think I would be selling him. Noctan Booley says, see you in 3 months. Stronger than ever, Oscar. I'll see you then. 2 minutes to go. Keep your questions coming. Start Zuma or Share? I would start Zuma. Sorry, I wouldn't. I'd start Share. Most transferred out players. There's the updated list. I'd start Share over Zuma. Is Ruben Diaz the safest Man City defender besides Edison? Yes. Not safe, but safest. Who to captain? Haaland if you are happy rank-wise, happy in your mini-leagues. If you're chasing, then Fernandes, Mahrez, there's a few like that. Not Rashford. I'm not sure Rashford starts today, so I would probably not captain Rashford now. That was my plan, but not anymore. Ali says, why is this the final stream, bro? Next week there's an FPL meetup in London, and I'm going to that, so I'm not going to be able to stream, sadly. Last season I streamed and then went, but I ended up missing loads of the game, so I can't really do both. So I'm making this the final one. So yeah, it's a bittersweet stream. Less than a minute to go. Wilson or Isak? Wilson. Kelvin Bile says, thank you, Oscar. You're welcome, Kelvin. Austin says, locked. That's it. GG, locked. Did I save my team? Can't check now. Hopefully. I might have. Yeah, I think I did. Yeah, the save button's greyed out. Imagine if I forgot to save it on the final one. Right. That's it, everyone. That's the final stream of the season. A bittersweet one. As I say, I'm not going to be live for Gameweek 38, sadly, because I'm heading into London for the FPL meetup. If anyone's interested, by the way, anyone can go. You just have to DM FPL Meets on Twitter. So, on that note, I just want to say a massive thank you to all the support this season. The growth on this channel has been absolutely ridiculous. The channel's doubled in size over the season, which is crazy. Absolutely crazy to double in size. Likewise on Twitter as well, doubled my following this season. Obviously I've got the YouTube play button. I should have got the play button as well. If I haven't shown the play button, wait there. Teddy's like, why are you running around? Obviously I got the play button as well. This season, thanks to you guys. Oh, I don't know if you can see it. Oh no. The filter's blocking it out. Oh, there you go. I'll reflect it back at you guys. This is all thanks to you guys. Oh almost dented it. And obviously I've had some crazy opportunities like playing at Anfield, the Emirates, which is all thanks to you guys. It wouldn't be possible without you all. So thank you again from the bottom of my heart. Gameweek 38 content's obviously back next week. But as I say, it's the final stream of the season. So thank you all for everything. I hope you have a good Gameweek 37. And enjoy the summer break. And I'll no doubt see you all on Twitter and so on. And whatever else lies ahead in the coming weeks and months. So thank you for everything again. Focal out.